Welcome back to another amazing episode of the Snack Bites. We're about to review one of the best movies of the year. What's going on? I'm Ryan.
I'm Brady. What's up? And we are reviewing
the Barbie movie.
I know we don't sound that excited, but we are.
I am.
I'm very excited. This was a great movie.
100%.
I liked it.
100%.
We kind of already talked about it a little bit on our podcast.
We did.
So if you guys want to walk over or run over, or skip over, or drive your little Barbie car over to the podcast.
But this one, it will be different because we're going straight into spoiler territory. It's going to be big sparkles and like the wow effect.
Wow. But here's the thing. I really wanted to talk about spoilers on our podcast, but, just for legal restrictions.
Our manager is like, it's not a good idea, kid.
So we couldn't, but this is our platform where we could talk about some spoilers. So I think we're hopping straight into spoilers. There's going to be no fluff, no nothing. We're just going to be talking about the Barbie movie. And if you guys haven't seen it yet, go ahead, go see it. I think it's not a movie for everybody, but I definitely think it's like a fun movie to watch.
Let's let's hop into it.
Let's hop.
Real quick,
Yeah.
Brady, in just 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay.
Give me your quick little review. Not like a whole analysis, but start us off.
Quick little review. Kind of keep it kind of brief for you guys. So personally, I saw the Barbie movie with my wife. I thought the experience was really cool. I really like the cinema age we're in now, where watching a movie, and definitely a certain type of movie, it's like a whole event. Like there's people dressed up, there was items, there was gifts, it was like a whole event. Nowadays you're not just seeing a movie anymore. Like you're seeing like an event.
There's still some passerby movies.
Yeah, there's some passerby, but with these big ones, it's like a full event. So the overall experience was pretty good. My popcorn was popping. The movie itself, I thought was pretty good. Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling, and even to an extent Will Ferrell all did an amazing job. Everybody played their part perfectly. I really think Ryan Gosling stole the show as Ken. Basically, this is a really wacky and crazy ride. First 10% of the movie, I was like, what? I don't know if this is for me. Last 90% of the movie, dead ass, just past that first 10 minutes, I was like, ah. And then past that, I was like, wow, this is a crazy, wacky movie. Yes, it doesn't take itself seriously, but I think that's why I liked it. It was just super off the wall. Sometimes it was out of pocket, and sometimes it was just super crazy. But just even with the funny and craziness, it still had those heartfelt moments, and it really touched the heartstrings of a lot of people's hearts, and definitely mine. There were some parts I was immediately laughing to crying. I was like, what is going on? And I loved how vulnerable it is when it is just making fun of itself. Will Ferrell came out in the interview just saying it's cool because he didn't even think Mattel read the script before before they came out with the movie, because Will Ferrell said he reviewed the script and then he asked the writers did Mattel read this? Are they okay with us making fun of them? And then they were no, they love it. They totally want to do this. So I love how just aware of the company's past and where they're going in the future.
And if there were to be in the future let's just say we get big someday, and then Snack Run, there's a Snack Run movie made about us. I would let them make fun about us so much, 100%. Especially me. Dead ass, no memory, always late, always push,
sleeping,
always push deadlines, but was never on time himself, kind of thing. Max making me allergies go crazy.
Yeah, but honestly, guys, it's a great movie. It isn't one of those movies where I personally don't think it's for everybody. But if you're someone who doesn't take things a lot serious or very serious, and if you just want a fun movie what's going to be crazy, great music, great acting, and definitely a huge, great appreciation to the kind of set designs were amazing in this whole movie.
Yeah, and not to continue harping on what you were saying, not to echo you, but I do agree. A big part, to fully enjoy this movie, you have to really let go of you can't be a stickler about story and a stickler about
it's a movie about Barbies.
Right.
It's don't take this too serious.
It's extremely wacky. You have to say, oh, you know what? Yeah, sure. Oh, that's fine. I mean, okay. Things happen for the sake of plot, but it's just for fun.
No, 100%.
It's just for fun.
And you got to go in there with it. They do poke fun at a lot of different people. And you just have to be okay with it. You have to just go and enjoy the movie, relax, and grab a cup of popcorn or a bucket of popcorn.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want a solo cup of popcorn. I want a bucket.
I'll do a solo cup, a little red,
like a pink solo cup.
A pink.
That would be kind of cool.
But overall, I think this movie is good. I think like it's not a perfect movie, and definitely like right now it came out during a perfect time during Oppenheimer. That's like a big meme right now. Barbieheimer is going crazy. So I think between the promotion of Barbie and Oppenheimer, it's getting a lot of people through the doors.
Right, and what I was gonna say is that this was. I'm gonna be honest with you. And listen, hear me out all the way. This wasn't the best. This was not the best movie I've seen in theaters this year. It was though, however, hands down, 100% the most fun I've had in theaters.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, so the energy I had with the theater and the girls next to me, the girls to the left of me were like cackling. I was cackling so hard. I have a funny story real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go see this with a friend yesterday, and so I ended up laughing so hard during the movie, and I have a really distinct like weird laugh sometimes.
Give me a little sample.
Say something funny. Now it will escalate to like an obnoxious amount.
Yeah.
And like anyway, at the end of the movie, I had a friend kind of yell from the back of the theater, and she was like, Ryan. I'm like, and it was kind of dark in the theater. I was like, Sarah, what is that you? And she's like, it's hi, and I was like, oh my gosh, hey, did you see me or something? She's like, no, I heard your laugh.
Yeah, you could hear that laugh a mile away.
Like, I heard your dumbass fuck. I'm adding words, but she heard my dumbass fucking laugh. And
I heard your dumbass, stupid ass, bitch ass laugh.
And she's the sister of one of my best friends.
That's
so
awesome.
I texted him later. I'm like, yeah, your sister she knew I was in the theater from my obnoxious ass laugh.
Just the laugh. That's so funny.
She said that.
But here's the thing, it's a fun movie.
It is, yeah, it's
like,
just fun.
It's so fun. Like, I mean, there was people next to me just giggling, laughing, hysterical. I was hysterical at scenes. Like, there were so many parts in this movie where you were expecting it to go one way, then it just flips 180. And like, there's so many great actors in it. The plot, like, it's there, but obviously, like, it's a movie about dolls and Barbies and like the real world. So like, don't take
it. Fuck. Here we go.
Here we go.
The rival Ken, right?
Oh, the rival Ken. Yeah, Shang-Chi, the rival Ken. What's his name again?
That's what I'm trying to say. Simu Lee.
Simu Lee?
No, it's not Lee. It's Simu Lo or something. I feel stupid.
Anyway, I'll have you look that up.
If we're gonna be talking about it though, we should probably know this dude's name. It's Simu Lo.
Simu Lo.
I believe.
Yeah.
I might not be able to say
I mean, he was good.
I thought he was fun.
I thought he was fun. I liked him because he didn't push too much. Like he was
egged on regular Ken.
Yeah, he egged on regular Ken, and like he wasn't like trying to be like the main character, and like they didn't write him as to be like a main character. He was just like a antagonistic force for Ken. But besides that, like he didn't like have his own thing, and like he didn't have his own
story arc,
like his own story arc. And I think that what they did perfectly is like they weren't juggling too many things at once. I think there was some things they added, but like that Barbie story, they had Ken's story, they intertwined those, and then they also had the human stories in part of it. But besides that, that's it. There wasn't like 20 different plot lines you're following. Was like, what's going on? Like, why is there all these people?
There's two main things I feel like. I want to hop into something that we couldn't get into in the podcast. I really want to talk about Ken's story arc.
Yeah, let's
Ryan Gosling's story arc. So from when we first meet him, he is like this dude who is just craves needs attention. Like he thrives off attention, right?
Yeah.
Right. What did you think of him when he first started off?
Yeah, man. So I do like it. Like the first 10% of the movie, I was like, what's going on? But now looking back on it, like they use that to like set the ground level. So basically it starts off as like introducing like Ken and Barbie and how it's Barbie and Ken. Like Ken doesn't have his own thing. And they even like kind of hint at it when he was like, do you know what my job is? It's not surfer. Beach. It's not surfer. It's not lifeguard. It's just beach. So in his head, like he's really nothing else besides. Right. So their job is beach, and then they're Barbie's boyfriend. Like that's his entirety.
Right, and then that's what he believes is his role. And I think that like, and this is I'm gonna get a little bit deep here because like we are going into like spoiler territory. I want to talk about this a little bit more, but I think there are people like him a little bit.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Who feel like okay, so I work out, and that's what I do. I work out. I go to my job and then I work out, and or I draw. Like I get stuck in this sometimes. I'm just an artist. Like I'm just an artist, and I'm a little dirty rat boy, and I draw. People sometimes get like too fixated on what they think they are when really they can be anything they want. And we see Ken throughout the movie, kind of try to root his identity in something else, and it becomes the patriarchy or what he thinks it is.
Yes, yeah. So he just realized he knew this thing, what he thought he was, and then when him and Barbie went to the real world because he's following Barbie like a lost dog, he realized oh my gosh, there's more. So he has all these interests and stuff, and I think Ryan Gosling said it the best is he said Ken's character he's not interesting character, he's just someone who looks like they want to have interests. So his thing is he found 20 things the monarchy, what's it called, patriarchy.
The patriarchy.
Yeah, the patriarchy, where he found 20 things and he's showing interest in these things, and it's really good. I really love his character arc, and even how they concluded his character arc. Remember how they did that?
Right. So that. And I'm sure that we can examine Margot's character as well to have an amazing arc as well. But I guess I resonated more with Ken's. So yeah, like you said, it wraps up really well. He tries his best to kind of root himself into something else that isn't quite him, but he's he's looking for himself. Also, I noticed he's lashing out. He's lashing out in a yes, this is a comedy and we're kind of overanalyzing it, but I relate to it. So he's lashing out in a way that's not healthy, right?
Yeah.
He's taking out on Barbie. Remember he said oh, it's boys' night every night.
Yeah.
And then this is my house now. It's not Barbie's house. It's the kingdom.
It's
right?
Yeah, the kingdom. Yeah, it's kind of so his passion and stuff was Barbie, and when he realized oh, I can't do that, then he got obsessed with kind of an addiction. When people lose a loved one or an interest or whatever, they get rooted in certain things in life, and that's kind of
to help him cope.
Yeah, so that's kind of that patriarchy kind of is his coping mechanism, is being this big strong man.
Clearly Barbie's not interested.
Yeah, and then kind of Barbie explained to him at the very end, you need to find something what's you, and he was still latching onto her. He was still okay, now we're back.
It was so hilarious though, because I was like that's so stereotypical man, or the man character. Do you want to go in for a kiss once he's discovered himself? And she's like no, this is a bad move. This isn't how it's supposed to go.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And I forgot how does it kind of go? How does it kind of? Oh, he wraps up saying that I'm enough.
Yeah. And he realized oh, his him as Ken, it doesn't have to be Barbie and Ken. It could just be Barbie.
It's Barbie and it's Ken.
Yeah, so adding that making him feel he is enough, and he has a really dope sweatshirt I want to buy which says I'm Ken enough.
I'm Ken enough.
Oh my gosh, it's so swaggy. But
and you know what, also I like it because I like that hoodie because it just it represents a really funny, wacky, silly character, almost like a Team Rocket kind of vibe, where it's you're a threat, but you're also just silly and wacky. You'll resolve yourself.
No, 100%.
The hoodie is really cool because it's a positive message, and it's a funny character that we can most men can relate to in some way or another. I really enjoyed his arc overall.
I really think Ryan Gosling might have stole this show. I mean, Margot Robbie was amazing in it. I think all the characters did a fantastic job. No one delivered a mediocre performance. Everybody went balls to the wall.
They all committed to everything.
They all committed to everything, and I think there's a reason for that. I think everybody really enjoyed the script. They really enjoyed what they were doing and what the idea behind this movie was, and they're like, yeah, I'm not gonna half-ass this. I'm gonna fucking go all the way to the wall and give my best performance ever. But I really think it's hard to put who had the better performance, Margot Robbie as Barbie or Ryan Gosling as Ken. And I think he
has abs. He has really amazing abs for a 50-year-old. Let me double check how old he is.
He has amazing abs for a 50-year-old. But I think just barely.
Oh, he's 42. My apologies.
42. Oh, that's 8 years apart.
We're 4 years apart.
Me and you? Yeah.
What does it say? I have a question for you, Brady.
I have an answer for you.
We on the podcast and on the Snack Bite, we've talked in length about Ken.
Yes.
And we enjoy that because that's almost half the movie, almost. Do you think that we haven't talked much about Barbie's story arc? Do you think that since you're not the target audience, maybe a young woman, maybe that's why you don't notice much about what she went through. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that?
No, 100%. And like I agree with that. I think like we're noticing Ken's arc because we're dudes. We relate to that. But
we like horses.
Yeah, we like horses. We like dojos. We love Costa dojos and stuff like that. I think we notice that a lot easier. But that's not to undermine Barbie and Margot Robbie's like kind of thing through this. Is like
right, cause
she wanted to go back to like everything what she kind of knew what was perfect, and like her story arc kind of relied on like it's okay to like see the change, it's okay to be different, it's okay not to just follow what you've been doing in your perfect life over and over again. And like I think that was really bold and crazy, and definitely when like something changes like that, because like something changed, just like she got flat feet, nothing was going her way, so she's like, I need to do everything in my power to fix this. And then when she gets back to Barbie Land, Ken kind of takes it over and make it like a Kendom Land and stuff like that. And then that flips her reality even more because she's like, I'm going back to this perfect place. And then she's like, even though I thought it was a perfect place, it's not a perfect place anymore.
Right. And I feel like her arc and her like story changed like twice, I would say. The first half was like, let's just find out what is kind of affecting me in Barbie Land.
Yes.
The second half was like, who am I? I'm stereotypical Barbie.
But like, actually, who is she?
But actually, who am I? And can I be something else, essentially? And oh my gosh, it really got me pretty hard.
Yeah.
The last like 25 minutes where she meets Ruth for the second time.
That was really good.
And Ruth says like, sweetie, I never wrote you to have an ending. I made you so you can be whatever you want whenever you want.
Yes.
And then like she's like, can I be human? And I was like, it's not all that, but get out over here.
Yeah, I think with how crazy this movie was, how they ended it was like, I would say almost a near perfect ending for that type of movie. I can't compare it to like other type of endings because obviously every movie is very different. But with this movie, how it was set up, where it was going, I think that ending with Ruth, the creator of Mattel and the Barbie, like that had to be like perfect because they kind of just explained like it was no one else. It was a blank void that they were in, and that's what a lot of people struggle with. Is like, who am I? Sometimes they feel like they're in a blank void,
and it kind of circles back around to the first thing that they talked about in the movie is that like we made it so that these Barbies can be anything. We don't want little girls to only raise little girls to raise little girls to make food and make dinner. Like we want them to be like doctors, astronauts, presidents, like mechanics and stuff like that. Like, and then she was like the one that's like just Barbie kind of, you know. Nothing, she's hilarious and awesome. The only thing is that like at the end of the day, it's like, who do you want to be? What do you want to be? And I think that sometimes that we can all relate to that sometimes. Like, you and I are very rooted in the arts. We love certain TV shows and anime and stuff like that. That's the kind of our identity a little bit. I know people, and God bless them, they don't quite have stuff like that, you know? Like, we know what to do on our free times. Like, you love golf, and you love, like, hanging out with your friends and working out. I love, like, drawing, my alone time, hanging out with friends, art. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I think this whole movie is just kind of about identity. Because if you look at it to a point, like, both Ken and Barbie are finding their identity.
And in one way or the other.
Yeah, in one way or another. And, like, I think it's really cool just to see that on a perspective from both sides. From Ken's side of, like, him knowing, like, this is my identity, and that shifts dramatically. Or Barbie, like, this is how it's supposed to be. And kind of, like, she's more accepting. I think Ken's more, like, ever changing type of identity. But yeah, no matter what, I think it was a fantastic movie, and great laughs, a lot of great laughs, but that's not to undermine the serious tones of it as well.
Right. There were a few different messages they were pushing. Real quick, we said about the ending.
Yes,
the ending was very strong.
Very strong.
With Barbie wanted to become human with Ruth, and Ruth showing her like a little bit of like what it looks like to be a human, and then with the ending banger at the end, because that was like, oh, she's going in for her job, or she's going to go order a coffee. You know what I mean? When she's getting out of the car and going over to the front desk, and she's like, and what are you here for today? And she's like, I'm here for my gynecologist appointment.
She needs to become a real girl.
Yeah, she has a vagina now. Remember those guys were hitting on her, and then she's like, well, just so you know, I don't have a vagina, and he's in a penis.
And Ken's like, well, what he said? He's like,
I don't. People are laughing too hard, but I can.
yeah. Ken was like, well, that's not entirely true.
Is that what you said?
Yeah,
that's funny.
But yeah, so funny. But yeah, great scenes. There is a song from Billie Eilish that plays at the end when she's kind of figuring out what she wanted to be, and I think that's such a great song, like such a great banger. I think all the songs were amazing in this. Like the songs were like back to back great.
I will say, the Kens had like a fantastic musical number.
Their musical number, man, was
so
amazing,
so cool.
It was absolutely
yeah,
goated. It was so great.
It went from like kind of like a slow ballad to like a Backstreet Boys kind of vibe.
Yeah, because I think like the underlining like message of that song, it was like two opposing sides fighting each other, and then them like coming together for like a unity, like a dance number. Then they remembered, oh wait, we have to vote for this bill so we could keep our manhood.
Yeah. I wish there was like an equivalent for like the Barbies, and I will argue that like maybe the first musical number was kind of for the Barbies a little bit.
I think they had their part in the first, or maybe their part was that scene where they were convincing all the guys to mansplain, so the Barbies could take the brainwashed girls and like unbrainwash them.
That was creative.
So that was really creative.
So funny
because like this is like exactly what we were saying at the beginning of this episode. Is we were saying like they're gonna poke fun at people, and a lot of people they poke fun is men, and that's okay. And like they have a part where like guys just mansplain, and like the girls take advantage of that, and like okay, that's what we do. That's totally okay. You have to like learn to like laugh with it. You have to learn to like understand like you're laughing with them. They're not laughing at you.
And also the girls poke fun at themselves too.
100%.
All the time.
Everybody was poking fun at each other.
Yeah, it was extremely meta. It was extremely like, this is how it is in big corporate companies. This is how it is with women. This is how it is with men. This is how it is on the beach. This is how it is in California. This is how it is when you're a piece of shit teenager. You know what I mean? Like no one was safe. But if you take it to heart like so badly, you're not gonna have fun. And I think you have to really kind of let go of like every serious aspect that you hold true to really enjoy this, and even other movies too. Like this is not new. You know, I think Deadpool does this a lot. Other movies do this a lot, where it's like, you know what, like this is how it actually is, and if you can't accept its flaws, you're not gonna enjoy the humor.
No, 100%. And I'm not a big like Barbie guy. I didn't play with Barbies a lot. I played with Barbies a little bit.
I played with dolls,
yeah,
but I didn't play with Barbie specifically.
But here's the thing. I guess after watching some like breakdown videos, there's a lot of detailed like lore and like Easter eggs they got like right in the movie. Like I love that. Like the director, the writers, and even Mattel are going through like extent to like put all the details in there. Like the first outfit, what you see Margot Robbie in, that's the very first Barbie ever.
Oh,
so
really?
Like all the costumes they have in there are like actual real Barbie costumes in there. All the sets are actual real Barbie sets.
Did Ken actually wear that like big fur coat at some point?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I never had a Ken doll that was big fur coat. And then I also saw like another thing is like you notice like in all the Barbie houses how it's all open and then they don't have stairs. They just magically float down to their car. That's what you do when you're playing with Barbies. You lift them up, you float them down to your car.
It's kind of
It's crazy like the amount of details. I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah. That's
I mean, like it would feel kind of stupid if they added like stairs, which I guess we kind of silly it up, kind of hard to like, kind of put the doll through the whole. Yeah, you get it.
Do you just kind of wrapping up because I think sadly
is it hot dog time?
It's about that time, but wrapping up a little bit.
Are the hot dogs boiling?
Oh, they're boiling.
Do you fry hot dogs or do you boil them?
I don't want to answer that. I feel embarrassed.
I can't imagine anyone boiling their hot dogs and being serious about it. Like, could you imagine you go to your friend's house and he's boiling a fucking hot dog?
I boil my hot dogs.
Do you really?
Yeah. Because they're softer. They're soft. If you fry them, they get crunchy on the outside. I don't want that.
That tastes good.
No, I like the soft.
You're a texture eater. You don't like boba. Eater.
Yeah.
Do you like salad?
Anyway, back to Barbie. I do like salad a lot.
Barbie likes salad.
Barbie does like salad. Anyway, back to Barbie. Not including, obviously, Ken and Barbie, Margot and Ryan. Who was your favorite person in this movie?
Excluding
the two main people. Who was your favorite actor? Because there's a bunch. There's like, this has a star-studded cast. Like there is people in this for sure. Even people I didn't even expect. There's John Cena was in this movie.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot. He only had 2 scenes.
He was in 2 scenes. Do you know why that is? Before we answer this, do you know why that is? They were on Suicide Squad together, and so they're actually really good friends. And
Margot and John?
Margot and John Cena, they're actually really good friends. Margot said, and you guys can find that interview somewhere. Margot was out getting dinner somewhere just by herself, because I guess that's what people do still, even when they're rich and famous. She was by herself, so she got up to like pay the bill, and then the cashier was like, "Oh, that guy paid it for you already." She looks over and it's John Cena, and he paid her bill, and then she was like, "You know, John Cena, we're filming Barbie over here. You want to like be in the scene really fast?" And he was like, "Oh, of course I do." Yeah. And it was like so fast. It's like he wasn't written to the plot or anything. They were just like, "Throw on this costume. We'll give you like 1 or 2 lines."
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love that they do that.
Did you ever by chance watch this movie called Always Be My Maybe?
Always Be My Maybe.
You and your wife should watch that movie.
Is it cute?
It's super good. It's a rom-com written by Ali Wong.
Okay.
You know Ali Wong, the comedian.
Yeah, I know.
And then also the Asian gentleman that's like a cop on the WandaVision. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that movie, Keanu Reeves plays himself, and he has a big part in the movie.
Yeah.
I'm not giving anything else away, but I love Ali Wong, and I love the like, gentleman who's in that movie. They said that he was actually just passing by, freaking walking past the set, and crazy. They were like, he was like, "Hey, do you want to be in a scene?" And then like
so
he
fast.
ended up like being in like, I would say like a 5th or like a 4th of the movie.
It's so crazy how Hollywood works, because you really think like, I mean, once when you get to that level, you're at that level. But once
Keanu's huge.
Yeah, once when you're at that level, like you could be asked, "Hey, you want to be on the scene really fast?" Like you don't have to sign any well, I'm sure you have to sign some contracts and stuff.
Like John Bellion was in the Broly movie. You probably know that.
No, I didn't know that.
He was the soldier of 67.
Oh wow. Yeah, it's just so fast how like people just jump in there. But anyway, kind of wrapping up, like, do you have a favorite person in this movie?
My apologies, brother. Maybe Alan.
Alan was good. Michael Cera
Will Ferrell.
Here's the thing with Michael Cera. I think he did good Alan. I just wanted more of him. I want more Alan. He was so funny. Definitely when like the Kents took over Barbie Land, and it was like a manly man, because obviously Alan's the first like gay Barbie toy. So obviously he didn't like all that like manly stuff and anything like that. So he's like, "I want out here." Then he has that really cool fight scene. What he does, I'm like, I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people don't expect the gays to be able to fight.
Oh, they do.
And some of them are scrappers. One time I went to I think it was an IHOP at like 1 in the morning, and these 2 gay guys got really heated, like right in front of me. They were so mad at each other. It was so funny. I should have recorded some of it, but I was afraid they're gonna hurt me. Like they were actually like gangsters.
Oh, gangsters.
Yeah. Have you ever seen like? I don't know. Anyway, they're real gangster gays. Gangster gays. We should write that and sell that movie. Write it and sell it.
That's a good movie. But you did mention Will Ferrell. I liked Will Ferrell a lot.
We should probably talk about him a little bit.
Yeah, let's talk about Will Ferrell a little bit. What do you have to think about him?
So, in my opinion, I've seen his last like 3 films and movies. Mm-hmm. I've watched his last 3 movies in theaters. My apologies. And they weren't that good.
Oh, poor guy. That's probably hurting his wallet. You know him. He needs every movie to be a hit.
I don't think so. I think he's solid.
That's a joke.
Oh, okay.
He's so rich. He is so incredibly rich.
First impression, he was funnier than I expected him to be. What do you think?
I liked him a lot. I think he was really funny. I think Will Ferrell as like just Will Ferrell is like really funny. But I just, for his character, I felt like, does his character need to be here? Like there was at times where his
wait, that's a writing perspective.
But just Will Ferrell himself in his comedy, it was good. I would say he's really good. He's really funny. I love that hallway station, like that Scooby-Doo scene they did, where they're like they're running through the hallways, and then the cubicles,
like jumping over each other.
They run through the cubicles.
And then he was like, "This will be faster." He's like, crawling.
He's crawling over the cubicles, and him and Margot Robbie like meet, and they both like yell, and they both like run opposite ways. Like I love how like goofy he was. He was like he wasn't like one of those typical like CEO guys. He was just like a goofy like. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Like sometimes we think of a CEO of an evil company or like a big corporation. It's like oh, they're evil. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're dark or whatever. He was just like, he had a pink tie. He was like, "Get her," stuff like that.
Yeah, he was pretty funny. I liked him a lot. Going to the story perspective, I didn't think his character was needed. There was definitely parts of the story where like Barbie ran away from him, and then he just wasn't anywhere for a while, and then he magically pops up, and he's like, okay, we need a roller skate to Barbie Land, and then he disappears again, and then he's like back on the beach. He's like, whoa, they're fighting, and then he disappears again, and then he's in the very last scene. Like, what is the reason? Like,
I think just to add, like, kind of round it out, I guess, maybe.
Yeah.
Add more funny parts.
I would love, like, him to have, like, maybe he was a red herring. Maybe he, like, because, like, I thought, like, okay, Will Ferrell, he's going to be the bad guy. The CEO, CFO.
He was almost a bad guy. He wanted to, like, box her up, right?
Yeah, but I think his plan was just to box her up and send her back. And, like, I don't know. They didn't really explain that either of, like, why.
What the box does.
Yeah, what does the box do? They just said, oh, there's a box. So, like, maybe.
What if there's, like, a extended or a director's cut that comes out when it comes to digital and streaming?
That would be cool.
Question.
Maybe the box, like, resets her. It reboots her. So she wouldn't be Margot Robbie.
I think he said that.
Yeah, it might have. We might have missed it.
I think he said that this is going to, like, make your feet and your cellulite go away. Maybe.
Yeah, then she had a weird feeling about it. She's like, wait a minute.
I think it was a weird feeling that, like, her human still needs help.
Yeah. That's totally it.
I guess there are some story plots that didn't quite get fleshed out as much as they maybe needed to for.
But she did help out her human
a lot.
I can't believe we almost forgot about that. That was one of my favorite scenes, is when she's going to look for her human, and it turns out the human she was finding isn't the daughter.
It's the mom.
It's actually the mom, and then you re-see the flashbacks from, like, the mom's point of view, and, like, that makes so much sense because, like,
She's going through a hard time.
It doesn't matter, like, what age you are. Like, you could go through those things, like, whenever.
Yeah, depression doesn't give a fuck who you are. Like, it's gonna hit you.
She was drawing depressed Barbie.
There was one last time. Okay, last question.
Yes.
Because we can keep talking. Because obviously
we could keep talking this forever.
Obviously, there's a lot of great parts about the set we can talk about. There's a lot of great parts about the human world we can talk about and the humans. One last question I think would be kind of interesting to ask you. Mm-hmm. If you had to recast Will Ferrell as something in the movie, what would you have done? If you had to cut out the whole corporate parts, what would you have done for Will Ferrell's character? Like, if he was already signed on to be in the movie, what would you have him do?
I think this takes away from, like, the Barbie thing, but, like, one of the creators of Barbie, like, obviously not what's her face who, like, created Barbie, but, like, one of the godly figures who is, like, you know how what's the creator of Barbie? What's her name?
Ruth.
Yeah, Ruth. Whatever her name is, when
her daughter's name was Barbara.
Yeah. So when she came down, she was like this heavenly, godly figure, kind of transcend all living beings. I would kind of like him as, like, that type of role, but obviously that role was taken for, like, yeah, that's kind of a hard question because he wouldn't make, like, a good Ken, like an old man Ken, because he's old. He can't play Ken, like a young hip Ken. Yes, you don't have to raise your hand. It's just us.
That'd be a good one. Sort of like how, like, in Bruce Almighty, there was, like, a god figure, and he was, like, kind of funny and kind of in control a little bit. Or how about this? He was, like, one of the discontinued Kens. Maybe he was, like, middle-aged Ken.
Middle-aged Ken? Well, he's a lot older than middle-aged. He's, like, up there. He's, like, of age.
Of age Ken?
Yeah, of age Ken. Grandpa Ken.
Well, remember Sugar Daddy Ken? He was older.
Oh, yeah, Sugar Daddy Ken. Yeah, I think, like, more of a funnier Ken. Like, he could have been, like, one of those discontinued, like, type of Barbies.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna guess he's 56.
You're looking up his age?
Yeah.
I'm going to guess he is. 56 is a good age. I would also say 56. Unless if you want
Just say 57, bitch.
Okay, I'll say 57. Whoever closer wins.
Oh, fuck! He's 56.
He's 56?
56, yeah.
I feel like you looked at that.
I did. I promised my life. Camera, re-roll the clip. See? Anyway, I have two ideas of how you would cast.
Yeah, okay.
Another discontinued Ken, like the Sugar Daddy one or the other weird one.
Yeah.
There's old guys. There's old guys hanging out with weird Barbie.
No, yeah, it could be that because there's, like, so many Barbies out there.
He could have been, like, the equal half of the weird Barbie, or maybe when they go to the real world, they find one helpful construction worker, and that would be kind of funny.
He's just like another human character.
Yeah,
but that would be harder because he has, like, he would have to need some relationship.
But what if at the end they're like, you know, not all humans were rude and hateful, and then he looks at the one that followed him to Barbie Land, he's like in the construction hat still, maybe.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. I kind of wanted like Barbie to, like, realize, like, the world wasn't like that evil, because like as soon as she walked in, she was eating like, she got like really bad taste in her mouth for like the world, and like she kind of got that vision between like the daughter and the mother who was with her, but like it would have been kind of nice to see,
rude people.
You know what it was? It was, they did do that. I totally missed it. At the end, when Barbie's like asking to be human and stuff, there's that flash of like all the daughters and mothers.
All the beautiful things.
All the beautiful things. So that was her seeing the beautiful things in the real world. Yeah. And there's just not all that. But understand, like, it's not all good, but there is good there. That was, I'm getting goosebumps. That was a scene where I was like, holy crap, this is a good scene.
Yeah, there was this movie, now that we're talking about it a lot, it was like a multi-meaningful, like story-driven and like message-driven narrative.
It's crazy because we went into this episode like, it's wacky, it's goofy, don't take it too seriously. But after like
we talked about Ken a little bit, we talked about the humans a little bit.
After diving into it, you're like, you know what, maybe it was more than just like doll dress up jokes.
And you know what else would be kind of cool too? It's you and I, and we're like literally cut from the same cloth in a lot of ways. But if we were to have like a really insightful woman on talk about the Barbie movie, that'd be really cool too.
That would be really cool. Yeah.
Like my friend Sarah, who was in the theater with me, she is extremely wise and extremely funny. But right away I asked her, hey, what'd you think? And then she went in right away about like the meanings behind certain messages on there and how she didn't like it, and how as a Christian woman she didn't enjoy these messages that was being pushed, but overall she liked it a lot. So it'd be kind of cool to pick the brain of other people who have different opinions about, especially Margot's character. We have kind of glossed over quite a bit. I feel like we went into Ken a lot, but Margot, I feel like there's more to be talked about from a woman's perspective.
Yeah, 100%.
Because this movie, we're two grown ass men talking about the Barbie movie. It was written somewhat for us, but
it was written for the girlies. It's like, and it's okay. That's the one thing I'll say is like a lot of people are coming out and saying like, this is not a movie for me. You're a fucking 40-year-old man. Of course this movie's not for you. Shut the fuck up. Go away, Ben Shapiro or whatever your name is. Like
you Andrew Tate writers.
Yeah, like let the girls have this one movie. It's okay if like they release a girls movie. Like there's guys
for guys.
There's guys movies. Like you think a girl wants to go see Transformers
or Fast and Furious?
Exactly. So
or even Creed to some degree.
Exactly. Well, I would see Creed.
I mean, you're a guy.
Michael B. Jordan.
You're kind of like the target audience.
Yeah, but anyway, let the girls have this movie. That's the one thing I'll leave you guys is like, let the girls have this.
And last thing I want to say is also like, I agree with Brady. This is written mostly for girls,
but fuck the girls.
You can still 1000% enjoy this movie. I would say it's one of the best comedies that come out in years. So don't let like the idea that it was pink and girly steer you away from seeing this movie. So
pink is just a concept. It's just a color. You're gonna let color scare you? Grow up.
Yeah, faggot. Jerks.
Turn up your volume really high.
I'm editing this one.
Anyway, I think that's about it, man.
Pink is either a lighter red or a red or white.
Did you ever have that shirt growing up? What says "Cool guys wear pink"? And it was a pink shirt.
No, I didn't. Did you ever see that? Did you ever get a Walmart shirt that said like, "I traded my sister for video games"?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So fucking sick.
Anyway, go see this movie. I think it's a fun, cool, crazy, funny movie. And
if you don't go see this movie because you're not secure about who you are, then you're a bitch.